Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. This is a reaction to UK versus US food, which is better, from Watch Mojo, so you know it's going to be a quality video, but we're going to check this out. You can be the judge of this at the end of the videos, although I'm assuming some of you have been to the UK, you probably hated the food, and you prefer food in the US, but yeah, we're going to check this out, hopefully going to enjoy. And yeah, links are in the description to my Patreon, where you can see reactions I can't post to YouTube, and yeah, let's jump into this video.
I'd just sell British snacks if I were them. I just have them all imported over.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we'll be pitting UK food versus US food and looking at their shocking differences.
Follow me.
We'll be examining which country provides the best food overall, from restaurants to supermarkets. We'll also look at which has healthier options, is cheaper, and what's available in each country. What do you think about the differences between the food found in the United States and the United Kingdom? Are there any differences we missed? Let us know in the comments. Round 1. Quality of ingredients.
Okay, I think the UK might win this one from what I've seen, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm going to say 80% chance UK win this one.
Ingredients in food we eat vary wildly depending on whether we are eating food from a package or food from a restaurant. As a result, we'll be looking at the major food chains common in both countries and whether the quality of their ingredients differs widely. In 2019, food activist Vani Hari, who also goes by the Food Babe online, showcased her research into the difference in ingredients found in packaged food items. This included Doritos, Mountain Dew, Quaker Oats, Heinz tomato ketchup, and more. She discovered that packaged food made and sold in the US contained vast amounts of artificial coloring and flavoring. For example, in the United Kingdom, Mountain Dew got its bright color from beta-carotene, a natural color derived from certain orange or yellow foods. In the United States, it came from Yellow 5. Yellow 5 is a petroleum-based dye called tartrazine. Most studies on artificial food colorings like tartrazine have shown that children who consume large doses can be negatively affected.
Randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled food challenge, published in perhaps the most prestigious medical journal in the world, showing artificial colors increased inattentiveness, impulsivity, and hyperactivity among young children.
You may also remember when groups campaigned to have azo dicarbonamide removed from bread in Subway, McDonald's, Wendy's, and many other major American food chains. This was in part because this chemical can also be found in yoga mats.
The additive is approved by the FDA, and other companies also use it in their breads. Subway came under fire after a food blogger petitioned for its removal, noting that the chemical is also used to make yoga mats.
I said Subway mats. Yoga mats. I mean, they basically are Subway mats. Oh, damn.
Campaigning by Harry to remove harmful ingredients from specific US packaged food has proven successful on multiple occasions, but there is still a lot of work to be done in the United States.
And the World Health Organization has deemed it an asthmatic trigger. It causes lung issues in workers who handle it, skin irritation, eye irritation. So this is a very dangerous chemical that's being used in our bread.
The reason why the UK may fare better in this area is due to the fact that food regulations regarding artificial colorings and ingredients are generally much stricter. For example, in Europe alone, food companies must include warning labels if they use artificial dyes. This results in many opting not to use them, as it may deter potential customers. This and other deterrents forces companies to manufacture products in a more health-conscious way, meaning the United Kingdom is the winner when it comes to the quality of ingredients in their food.
That's not a surprise. I don't know, maybe if it's changing in the US, because I've seen us mentioned a few times about like the chemicals and stuff, but who knows? Maybe the taste is just so good they can't stop it. Although the taste is still good, and like I say, still good. McDonald's in the UK still hits. Don't get me wrong. You still feel terrible after you have it, and it's not like it's healthy because it's very unhealthy food. But yeah, maybe the taste is just that much better. I don't know.
Winner, United Kingdom. Round 2, portion sizes. Okay,
well,
it's no secret that the United States is known for overfilling meals in what has become known as supersized portions.
Look at that. Look at how big that thing is.
See, I remember watching this in high school. Was it primary school? I think it was high school. Look at the size of that. That is massive.
But is that the case across the board? Food Insider did a deep dive into several of the nation's shared fast food chains, dissecting just how big each of their standard sizes are. In every instance, the US had considerably larger portion sizes per meal, both in volume and weight.
I can't even dump it. Yo.
Massive.
Look how much chicken this is. Oh my god, what a mess.
This isn't just the case with fast food, as packaged foods are commonly sold in more significant gram amounts in the US.
Eat a Snickers. Better?
A standard Snickers bar, for example, is 52.7 grams in the United States and 48 grams in the UK. Sometimes there are even comically large editions available in the
Is that all just one bar? Or is that many bars in a pack?
United States.
This is 1 pound, or roughly 453.6 grams.
Bloody
That
hell.
isn't entirely a good thing, as the United States ranks significantly higher than the United Kingdom in the percentage.
Don't get me wrong though, I do love Snickers, so like you just have it in parts. Although the thing is, when I get like chocolate, I'll just force myself to eat the whole bar. So even though it's bigger, and you should probably save it for multiple times, that's all going in 1 or 2 sessions, man. I'm bad at saving food.
Of obese adults living in the country.
While 1 in 8 Americans rely on food stamps, the stocks of Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, Kentucky Fried Chicken, and McDonald's are at all-time highs.
Some might remember the 2004 documentary Super Size Me, in which director Morgan Spurlock lived exclusively on fast food, which spurred active discussions about the health risks of America's fast food.
Anybody would say right now that you're sick.
However, we don't measure for health, we measure for sizes. In almost every case, the United States destroys the UK's portion sizes. Winner, United States.
God damn
Round
it.
3, overall prices.
I actually don't know. This would probably be quite close. Actually, I think the US will be better, right? Because you get bigger sizes, and it's probably for this. Yeah, bigger sizes for similar prices of what we would get in the UK for our sort of size comparisons.
Given that the UK
Portion
and the
comparisons.
US use 2 different currencies that can fluctuate in value, it can be hard to examine just how much difference there is in food price. However, if the earlier section of portion sizes is anything to go on, there is increased opportunity to be served more. But does that translate into how expensive the food actually is? According to MyLifeElsewhere.com, the United Kingdom's cost of living average when eating out was higher, some even on average as 25% more expensive than the US when eating at an inexpensive restaurant.
But then, is that when tipping comes in?
But while it might be more expensive
Maybe.
to eat out, what about buying your groceries and eating from home? According to Numbeo.com, the cost of these individual items decreases exponentially if you're shopping in the UK. A 500-gram loaf of fresh bread would cost you $2.76 on average in the United States, but would only cost $1.31 when exchanged for pounds in the UK. Overall, consumer prices are 3% lower and grocery prices are a staggering 20% lower. However, restaurant prices are 5% higher than in the United States. Given how much these percentages lean in the UK's favor, the winner of this round is the United Kingdom. Winner, United Kingdom.
Okay.
Round 4, variety. The United States has one of the biggest economies in the world. It also
We've
has
lost this
larger
one.
portion sizes, but doesn't have the most food chains and products available. This might
We can just skip this. I mean, we know who's winning. So there's no point.
be a bit unfair, as the United States is 40 times bigger than the United Kingdom. It makes complete sense then that most of the world's largest restaurant chains originated from the US. McDonald's, KFC, Burger King, Starbucks, Domino's, Pizza Hut, just to name a few.
$2.99 for 20-piece nuggets in what I guess is like the early 2000s. Flipping hell.
Bring your appetite. Bring everybody.
There are many chains from the United States that haven't made the crossover, however. The United Kingdom does have a few select brands originating in the nation, such as Wetherspoons and Greggs. However,
They don't compare, let's be real. They do not compare.
However, the United States vastly outweighs its competition in large brand availability and origins.
God bless the USA.
This also extends to packaged food as well. There are many sweets and treats from the United States that would need to be exported to the United Kingdom rather than be made by a local factory. So, in the case of the variety of foods available to the average customer, the United States wins out.
God
Winner,
damn it.
United States.
No.
Before we continue, be sure the option to be go into your settings.
Safety standards. To clarify.
Oh, I don't actually know. This is sort of the same as the first one. No? Is that not really how it is?
When we say food safety standards, it doesn't just refer to the type of ingredient a food might contain, but also the enforced practices a country will partake in.
I mean, this is just like company to company. This isn't, or like restaurant to restaurant. This isn't like necessarily. I think there's the same rules and standards in both countries. So it is just dependent on what restaurant you're eating at.
To prevent the spread of foodborne illnesses.
The principles of food safety aim to prevent food from becoming contaminated and causing food poisoning. With this in mind, ensuring that food is safe for human consumption is likely the most critical part of the food preparation process.
This means we will measure how sanitary food production is in the US and UK and look at the processes involved in creating the food for purchase. This includes the management and care for animals. The United States clearly has a larger population to cater for. It also has farther to travel to get their farm produce. And while the food safety practices have been ranked closely on an international stage, there are still areas for concern. The United Kingdom has had a few food-related scares. A notable case includes the 2013 horse meat scandal.
Was that with Tesco?
Where foods advertised as beef in the EU contained horse meat.
That's wild. I mean, no one clocked it, but Jesus Christ. Horses as well, that's kind of like, it's not the same, but that's like, you see horses somewhat as pets. So it's kind of like 20% of the way to it being dog meat. Like, maybe people wouldn't agree. Maybe horse meat is, like, eaten around the world. I don't actually know. But I sort of see horses as, like, a man's best friend, just a bit bigger, you know? So, it's a bit weird. But I guess they're trying to save their money. And no one noticed it until... I don't actually know how they noticed it, to be fair. I guess it was tested.
The horse meat controversy began last month. Horse DNA was found in burgers stocked by some supermarket chains, including Tesco, Iceland and Lidl. Today, the beef saga has spread, affecting firms in the UK, Irish Republic, Poland and France.
But this is an outlier in the UK food industry, as locally produced food follows a lot of stringent cleanliness and tracing laws. All cattle are registered at birth, individually verified, and have their movement monitored throughout their entire life. In addition, British beef requires their country of birth, rearing, and slaughtering to be listed on packages. American farmers, on the other hand, have no such obligations. Animal cruelty laws are also much more advanced in the UK than in non-EU countries. As a result, many profit-based practices have been outright banned, including battery cages, sow stalls, and male pig castration. Animal feed also has stricter rules in the UK. To reduce the risk of transmitting brain disease in chicken, meat and bone meal isn't allowed in poultry feed. In addition, some feeds that promote growth in pork and chicken aren't authorized to be used on British farms. If we're looking at crops, there is also a difference in pesticides used. Since 2016, the UK and EU have banned an insecticide called chlorpyrifos due to its link to brain damage in children.
Well, the Nazi state developed this set of chemicals to be nerve gases. Sarin gas is in this family. But after the war, they realized, well, this will attack anything with the nervous system, so it's very effective in treating crops and killing insects. But if it drifts, of course, it poisons people. It has the same kind of effect.
It is legal to use in the US, however. The same goes for neonicotinoids, which were banned in Europe due to concerns over their harm to bees.
Neonicotinoids are water-soluble and relatively mobile in the ground. So when it rains, they are easily washed into the groundwater and runoff water. This means they affect the whole environment and are also absorbed by wildflowers and plants via their roots.
What I'm taking from this is American foods are a lot better, like a lot nicer to eat. You get more options. It's just good to eat. In terms of safety, I guess America goes for taste over safety. And that's not saying that obviously the US is not good for safety. I guess in the grand scheme of things, it's still much better than a lot of other countries. But they definitely seem to have like shortcuts to sort of make it cheaper, I assume, and to make it more efficient. Which obviously inside, in turn, makes it, in certain aspects, not very good in terms of the safety. And then in the UK, you don't get many options of food. It's a bit boring, but at least there's certain rules that mean it's not going to be as harmful to you. Yeah. So the US goes for taste. The UK goes for safety, I guess. I don't know.
The entire landscape becomes toxic for insects.
As recently as 2020, the UK banned fungicide chlorothalonil due to concerns about its effect on water quality and the environment. But perhaps the most frequently discussed difference is the use of chlorine.
Chlorinated chicken? Sorry? I didn't know this. What's happening here?
To wash chicken. The process is used to decontaminate the meat and kill any bacteria left on the skin before it's sent off for packaging.
But really, it's a different standard in the United States. And it's not just chicken.
While this is a common practice in the United States, a trade group called the Soil Association argues that chlorine washing simply gives the impression contaminants have been killed. The United Kingdom, by comparison, doesn't allow this practice. They instead rely on rules that are designed to keep the meat as clean as possible through processing.
So chlorinated chicken, I mean, I know you shouldn't really swallow chlorine. Like when you're swimming and like, oh my god, it brings back nightmares of swimming in and like trying to breathe when swimming in class. Breathing in all this chlorine, going down my throat, burning. It's obviously not to the same degree. But then you'd feel sick after and it's just a bit manky. Chlorine, cleaning chicken with chlorine, I don't really know what to say, to be honest. I didn't even know that was a thing, but I don't really know what it does. I don't even know the side effects of chlorine. I just know it's a chemical that's used to keep things clean.
It would certainly appear the United Kingdom is further ahead when it comes to the safety of its practices in creating food.
Come on.
Winner, United Kingdom. United States 2, United Kingdom.
Yes, that's changed my life. I'm so happy. Very interesting video. I'm from the UK and didn't even know some of these facts, like chlorine washing being banned. So was chlorine in chicken in the UK a thing before? I guess it may have been then. To be honest, I didn't even know that was a thing. I do think our variety of cuisines is excellent. We're in the centre of the world. We do have options here, don't get me wrong. Like British food gets laughed at, and I think when it's like stereotypical British food, it's fair enough. But like, I mean, in the UK, you have so many options in terms of fast food, restaurants and all that sort of stuff. As well as in shops, you have all these options to like make whatever food you want. It's not as bad as it comes across. Let's just say that. In Ireland, Subway's bread is classified as a cake as it has so much sugar and higher tax. Fair enough. That is mental. How is there so much? Like, I don't understand. Like, when I've like a mass gainer right now, and I'll drink it, and I'll think to myself, why is it so sweet? I don't want it to be this sweet. It's like they overly sweeten things for no reason. Like, I could eat sweets that would be way less sweet and enjoy them just the same. And I know people probably think, no, that's not true, but I genuinely like. I'll get like some gummy sweets. I'll eat them. I like them, but they're just way too sweet. If they're like half the sweetness, I'm happy. It's like they overdo the sweetness on things for no reason at all. I just don't get it. Like for this bread, for example, people are going to enjoy this bread just the same if there's a little bit less sugar. It's so wild. I don't understand how this stuff happens. It's just mental to me. They overdo it for no reason. Any sweets, chocolates and stuff, I'm sure people would enjoy them 90% as much if there was 10% less sugar in these things, maybe even more on certain aspects. It just confuses me, but who am I to say anything? I'm just a dumb British person. But yeah, hopefully enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts on this, and until next time, like, subscribe, and peace.